This time we're doing a different question. It's called word count engine. And what the question is basically asking you to do is you're given a string called document with n words. Some of them are unique, others are not unique. And what we want to do is we want to return a list of all the unique words in it. So basically what happens is, so we have a document, so we have a string like this, and we want to output like practice happens 3 times, perfect happened twice, mix happens once, you will happens once, and so on. So this is what our output looks like. Okay. So here we can see that it takes in the document, and we can see that the number of occurrences are sorted in descending order. If 2 or more words have the same count, they should be sorted according to their order in the original sentence. So not only do they need to be sorted, they need to be sorted in, if they have the same count, they need to be sorted to their original order in the sentence. And we can assume that words are all English and should be case insensitive, so you should lowercase it, and then strip out the punctuation, so you shouldn't have any punctuation in here. And obviously you want to optimize for the solution. So what I think makes sense to do is we take this string, we convert it to an array, and so this step is called tokenize. So we tokenize each word we split it by the empty space. Once we split it by the empty space, we need to remove the punctuation. And once we remove the punctuation, we can just lowercase this entire word. So we want this word to be lowercased. And then we have to order it. So I have some pseudocode to accomplish this. We initialize some table, because this is the table that we want to output. I mean we're outputting an array, but you know the array comes from this table. Split for each word, we split it by the space. That is linear time. Sanitize the array. Our sanitize function goes through each character in the array. And if each character is not a punctuation, so if each character is a punctuation, we add it onto our word. So basically this step, we're filtering out all the punctuation. So if it is a punctuation, if it is a letter, if it is a character, we put it into our new word. If it is a punctuation, we don't do anything. And in the end, we append this new filtered out array, word into our array. So that step is linear time. And then we go through another linear time for each, we'll go through another linear time scan for each character. Each word in the table, we want to add it to our table value. So if we have seen, we've seen this word in the table, we increment its value. Otherwise, we add this as a new row in our table. and then we need to order the table. So if we just simply order the table using a sort by their value, then this will take O of n log n, where n is the number of words. M is each word. Well, in this case, it's n is the length of the table, so the number of words in our table. So it's more correctly m log n. So the question is looking for, do we have a way to make this faster? You know, is there some kind of sorting algorithm that we can use to make this faster? So I've already gone through this question. So this step, optimization, is a little tricky because we can look at because each table, because the table looks like this. The table looks like practice has 3, perfect has 2, makes has 1, you will have 1. So you can see that they can you can sort of group them by their values. So is there a way which we can take these values and sort of group the words next to it, and then that way we can output the table in order. So to do this, what I'm thinking to do is, so we know the largest value the table can have is m. So we can go well, I mean, okay, we can do a for loop that decrements. So we can do for loop for m, for each, let's call it for each in table. Actually, we want to, let's do in the range. For I in range, for I in range of table. So we have this value, and then we find the number of elements in a table that has this value. So if table dot values equals to I, and then we can append, and then we can have an output array, and then here's where we can append it. So our output array is empty, and then we can append this table. At the ith position. So that way we'll actually have a ascending order of and then we do return output dot reverse. So I think this makes sense. For each value, so we put for each value in table dot values, So for each of the value in our table values, if our table has that value, then we want to append it to our table. And then this will give it to us in ascending order, and then we'll reverse it to get our descending order. And then note, we have to take care of the case where the values duplicate. So I think that would be my pseudocode for this question.